Sports.
We are Blackmore. We are Florida.
Last night, all of Gotham was primed for a dark night. Met fans were pumped. Their hero, Matt Harvey, was on the mound. And early, he riddled the Marlins. But Justin Bour's long ball foiled the Cape Crusader. And in the ninth, it was handed to AJ Ramos, who left no doubt. It was lights out in Gotham. Game 2 in New York is next. Not a dark night, more like a cloudy afternoon. For Game 2, a Saturday in Gotham, Flushing to be exact. Citi Field, Marlins and Mets Game 2. Hi everybody, Rich Waltz along with Tommy Hutton. We started the show yesterday saying Miami needed a spark, and whether it was that D. Gordon bunt for a hit, the Bour homer, A.J. Ramos or Dan Herron, they got that spark. Now they're looking for traction.
Yeah, I think what you'd like is to continue that spark for the second game of this series. Doesn't matter where it comes from, but if they play the same type of game they played yesterday, the Marlins will be in good shape.
If they get the same type of start they got yesterday from Dan Herron, they'll be in great shape. And it's Tom Kohler. Tom Kohler, born in the Bronx, played at Stony Brook. For him, an important start, and he's on a nice run.
You know, I think he always enjoys pitching here in New York. Even though in 5 starts he's yet to beat the Mets in this ballpark. But look at what Tom Kohler's done. Last 3 starts, the ERA 0.95, the impressive number to me, opponents batting 169 against TK. So he wants to continue that, continue pitching the way he has the last 3 times out.
One thing he'd like to reverse, he hasn't won here yet. In 5 starts, he's 0-2.
Yeah, and remember the last time, it was certainly a start he would like to forget about on April 19th. He was pitching well and then ran into a wall in that 4th inning and gave up 7 runs in that 4th.
As nice a run as Kohler is on right now, Jonathan Neese is headed in the opposite direction. The Mets lefty with a .500 record and an ERA just north of 4.
Yeah, how about Neese? First 6 starts, an ERA under 2, but over his last 3 starts, Jonathan Neese is 0-3 with an ERA of 9.
So it's Jonathan Neese, it's Tom Kohler, it's Mets and Marlins. One dark cloud after last night. Etch is banged up. We'll update it next. at Citi Field. Let's go down below. Craig Minervini. Craig?
Rich, thank you. You looked at Donovan Solano. He'll be playing today. He'll be playing shortstop because the Marlins are going to be without their shortstop, Adeiny Echeverria. Here's why. It happened in the 9th inning of the game last night. 1 out, a big spot in the game. The Marlins were up by 2 runs in the game. Runner on second. A little hit by Daniel Murphy. A little flare to left field. Yelich colliding with Echeverria. Ouch. Etch stayed in the game, but today wasn't feeling so good. We asked Christian Yelich about the play.
You know, those plays are tough. Nobody can really call it because nobody actually has the ball, and you can't call it unless you're going to catch it. So, plus it was pretty loud in that 9th inning, and I don't know if we would have hurt each other anyway. But it's kind of just one of those plays in baseball, and we kind of tried to avoid each other. We really didn't. I kind of saw him out of the corner of my eye when I was going to catch it. You know, I almost dove head first for it when I saw him out of the corner of my eye, and that's when I kind of changed it.
As far as hitting, I knew I couldn't hit it. My shoulder was bothering me. It was tight. You know, as far as getting taken out of the game at that moment, you know, my shoulder hurt. You know, I got that wind knocked out of me. It was tough for me to breathe, but you know, I knew there was 1 out, and you know, whatever play that was hit to me, that I was going to do whatever I can to make the play and get him out.
Etch having an all-star season. He's batting .300. He's made only 3 errors. His fielding percentage is 3rd best among National League shortstops, and he has started every game. He's the glue of the infield. He'll be out for a couple, but the good news, X-rays negative right now, just a bruise. The Marlins are calling it day-to-day, but that left shoulder is not feeling good, and the Marlins are not expecting to have him for at least a few, you would think. Hopefully he'll make a recovery soon and get him back ASAP. For now, though, Donovan Solano, 3 starts last year. Shortstop gets the start, and we're going to get started with Game 2 from the Big Apple next.
Marlins at Mets. Dee Gordon getting ready to lead it off for the Fish. Game 2. Marlins captured Game 1 last night 4-3. Jonathan Neese settling in on the mound. Dee Gordon, Martin Prado, and Giancarlo Stanton. Pitch Penny brings you that first pitch. It was just a scoosh outside. And a 1-0 count on Gordon. A 7-game hit streak. Gordon extended that last night with a bunt base hit. And he strokes that one into center field. Juan Lagares so good out there. Cruises over and makes the catch. This game is underway. Marlins lineup looks this way. You've met Dee Gordon. Jan Lexus brings it to you. Please welcome Martin Prado, who hits very well in New York. Giancarlo Stanton in the 3 spot. Jeff Baker gets the start against the lefty. Marcelo Ozuna slotted 5th. Christian Yelich is in left field. JT Realmuto, the catcher. Donovan Solano, the start at shortstop for an ailing Danny Echeverria. And Tom Kohler hits 9th. And here is Prado. A look at Jonathan Nice.
With the number of times, Rich, that Nice has faced the Marlins, there's some pretty good track records. We talked about how Nice has struggled over his last 3 starts. The ERA 9. However, his last 7 starts against the Marlins, he's gone 4-0.
Prado's numbers. He was 1 for 3 with an RBI. Has hit well in this ballpark. And he smacks one into right field for a base hit. Prado's aboard. Here comes Stanton. Here comes the Mets defense. It's brought to you by BMW.
All right, make sure you have the sunglasses. Bright sunny day with the outfield of Kadire, Lagares, and Granderson. Tejada at third base, not his natural spot, but he's done a decent job there. Flores, Murphy, and Duda around the infield. Kevin Plawecki behind the plate.
Giancarlo Stanton takes a strike. You're talking track record against this lefty, and Stanton has some healthy numbers at the expense of Jonathan Nice.
Stanton's is an Olympic track record.
He's 11 for 27, 3 homers, and he's driven in 7, but he's behind in the count here, 0-2. And he swings and misses and strikes out. And so Nice goes upstairs, strikes out Stanton.
For Giancarlo, the 67th time here in game number 49. 67th time that he struck out. You see the pattern. If they get ahead with a left-hander, he wants to go upstairs to get into chase. We've seen right-handers go off the plate with sliders.
Jeff Baker takes a strike. As you would expect against Jonathan Nice, Baker very, very good. His average 304 on the season. He's 400 against Nice in his career, and that spans over 20 at-bats, 8 hits. Has yet to homer against this lefty. His career numbers, as you know, he's always hit lefties better than righties. He takes down low. He's in the lineup. Justin Bour was a homer in his last 2 ball games, homering yesterday against Matt Harvey. Bour gets the day off, at least to begin with, but you would expect to see him as a pinch hitter later today. And speaking of pinch hitters, for Dan Jennings, this is not an easy game to manage because the Marlins are short on the bench, a short bench to begin with. But if Echeverria can't play, it's really small.
Yeah, the word is Etch could be available, but you don't know. And if he's not, that gives Dan Jennings Jonathan Solano. You don't want to use the catcher. And then 2 left-handed bats, Ichiro and Justin Bour.
Baker takes up. Count full 3-2, and that'll give Prado a head start. Echeverria getting the brunt of that collision. Christian Yelich yesterday. Baker shoots it into right field, and it's caught there by Granderson. Hit it on the nose. Mets coming up in a scoreless game. in Flushing. Jan Lexus brings you the Mets lineup. They're 27 and 22, these Mets. Curtis Granderson, Ruben Tejada, Lucas Duda, Daniel Murphy. An 8-game streak, .483 average. He is on fire. Michael Kadires in left. Wilmer Flores at short. The Gold Glover Juan Legatus in center field. Kevin Blawecki keeping the seat warm before Travis d'Arnaud is back. Jonathan Neese is in the 9 spot.
I think what we've seen in the success of Tom Koehler's is nice rhythm over the month of May. 5 starts, ERA of 2.73, and he's had command of most all of his pitches. The fastball, the curve, the slider, and some changeups as well.
Granderson with a big swing and a miss. See his season numbers. His home run stroke good at home, much better at home. 4 of his 6 homers, including last night's at home, and Koehler comes in and hits him. And Granderson's on his way down to first. It certainly wasn't in the game plan for Koehler.
Well, let's see what that BMW defense has for us today with Yelich, Ozuna, Stanton. You'll see the change. Donovan Solano getting the start at shortstop. He'll pair with Pete Gordon up the middle. Prado, Jeff Baker at the corners, and behind the plate, JT Real Muto.
Donovan Solano at short, and he could have some action around the bag early as Echeverria watches. Granderson, 4 stolen bases. He's at first. Ruben Tejada takes strike 1.
We talked about it last night. They don't run a lot. Granderson's their team leader with 4 steals, but they will hit and run, and this is a guy that Terry Collins will do it with, Ruben Tejada.
Liner in the right center. That's a base hit. Stanton over to cut it off. Granderson's not stopping. Stanton's throw comes to third. He is safe. Giancarlo Stanton with a strong throw, and Granderson just got in.
Well, it was a good jump by Granderson. He knew this ball was going to drop. No hit and run, but you could see what Tejada had on his mind, trying to hit the ball the other way. Good job by Giancarlo. Just better base running by Curtis Granderson.
And the Mets are set up at the corners and nobody out here in the first. And the big bats, Lucas Duda, Daniel Murphy, Michael Kadire now. And the first is Duda, who was following up his breakout season last year with a very solid campaign this year. Duda in the top 10 in slugging percentage, in on-base percentage. A liner by Baker and into the corner. It's going to mean 1 run. Granderson scores to third, and holding there is Tejada. Duda has an RBI double. Just like that, it's 1-0, and the Mets have second and third and nobody out.
And for Lucas Duda, double number 16 on the year. Some balls have been hit real hard. Fastball stayed in. Solid swing by Duda. Inches away from being a double play if Jeff Baker catches that. That ball was screened by him. I've always thought, Rich, this is one of the toughest assignments for a starting pitcher to get in a groove, because Koehler hasn't had a chance to establish anything, and the Mets have been jumping on it.
Daniel Murphy. Murphy takes outside. Murphy's double was that bloop job between Yelich and Echeverria. Koehler bounces it, and it's 2-0.
You know, it all goes back to his pitch that hit Granderson. Really didn't get a chance to settle into the leadoff hitter. And then back-to-back base hits. And Tom Koehler finds himself trying to dig out of a first-inning jam.
Murphy has been incredibly hot in May, and in particular the last 10 days, to get his average to 278. And he's sitting on a 3-0 pitch. Kohler steps off. Wind is blowing out to left center. Murphy, green lighted, goes after that pitch.
Yeah, when you're incredibly hot and when you've hit over 340 with runners in scoring position, you get that green light.
Tejada at third, Duda at second. Kohler wobbling here in the first. And he lost him. And the bags are loaded, and here comes Kadire. Well, he can change in a hurry, can it? Tom Kohler's last 4 appearances, 3 starts and a 3-inning relief stint, 22 innings and 2 earned runs. He's given up 1. He doesn't have an out. And the 5th man to come to the plate is a dangerous one in Michael Kadire. Infield plays for 2.
Right now, one of the most beautiful things to Tom Kohler would be a double play ball.
High fastball, pop up.
He'll take that too.
D. Gordon right on the mound, infield fly called. Gordon makes the catch. And a big out to get as Kohler tries to extract himself from this inning.
Not having the opportunity to establish something, he runs a fastball in on the hands, a very tempting pitch for Kadire, but he gets underneath it. So good pitch, 1 down.
Now Wilmer Flores. Strike. Flores, who has had big hits at the Marlins' expense, including a grand slam and a 3-run homer. Fouls it back. Mets with a pair of shortstops in their lineup. Flores at short, Tejada at third. Trying to figure out how to get by until David Wright comes back from his back injury.
Yeah, he just had an epidural shot in that back. Things aren't looking that promising for a return right now for David Wright.
Back to the screen. It stays 0-2.
And I was also reading that their catcher, Travis d'Arnaud, who they were hoping to get back next week, he had a bit of a setback. Remember, he got hit on the wrist, and that wrist came up sore after a rehab start. So he's had a little setback.
Now he's been able to get in on Kadire and now Flores with that fastball that he elevates. Juan Lagares is on deck. Infield waiting for a ground ball, and they get one. Solano, Gordon's turn in time, and Kohler limits the damage to just the run.
What an absolutely fantastic job.
Grand Eye Vision Cam. There's the breaking ball, and there's the double play ball.
Probably the best curveball he threw in the inning. Remember, he went upstairs to get the pop fly from Kadire, and then a good pitch with that curveball to get the double play.
And so Kohler escapes. It's 1-0. Miami goes back to work against Jonathan Nice, who looks sharp in his first inning plus of work. Ozuna, Christian Yelich, JT Realmuto. And Ozuna cranks one down into the corner. It's a fair ball. It rattles around down there. And Marcell Ozuna has himself a double. 9 doubles on the season for Ozuna. And a nice way to lead it off. And here comes Yelich.
You talk about a great psychological feeling in a game, how games go inning by inning. After the Mets got that 1 run and then had bases loaded, nobody out, didn't get any more. If all of a sudden the Marlins came back here and tied it or took the lead, that's great for the psyche of the game.
Breaking an 0 for 11. Leadoff double. Here's Yelich. Shortens the bunt and pops it up over the screen. Yelich's average at 211. It doesn't illustrate where he's been over the last 2 to 3 weeks. The stroke has come back. The back is healthy now. And he had a base hit last night. He actually has a 6-game hit streak. And Neesmith is up and in. And Yelich, like the rest of the Marlins, has faced Nice a lot. 4 for 10 with an RBI. Now it's 1-2. Defiance, Ohio, home of Jonathan Nice. Yelich, a little tapper, and that'll do the job. It'll get the runner over. Flores' throw is wide, and Yelich is safe. Of the 2 shortstops that are in, Tejada's probably a better fielder, but Flores has had better offensive numbers.
Yeah, it's his 10th error this year on a throw that sails away. Put a little pressure on him because of the speed of Yelich. That puts pressure on the shortstop. So just like that, first and third. On that little tapper, heads up base running on Ozuna's part, he took off right away and was headed to third.
There are your shortstop errors. Remember, Ian Desmond had the awful April and has cleaned it up a little bit since.
Put it in perspective, Danny Echeverria has just 3.
Realmuto now looking down at Lenny Harris at third base. Marcell Ozuna, the runner at third, and you've got Yelich's speed at first. Realmuto trying to take a shot at that right side. It's a ball and a strike.
That's a good point about Lenny because, you know, we haven't talked about him too much. That's probably a good thing with the third base coach. And he's been able to alert the runners. He's had a little activity.
Slow roller. They'll get it out, and Ozuna doesn't run.
Boy, I don't know where he was going, what he was thinking. Infield wasn't in. Ground ball, he's got to take off.
Without a doubt, in a double play spot. Now the Mets just get the 1 out. Another look.
Yeah, they're playing at double play depth. And for some reason, Ozuna freezes. Thankfully, Realmuto with his speed. That's just getting locked up.
Here is Solano, and certainly an important at bat, not only for first and third and 1 out, but you've got the pitcher on deck. So Jonathan Nice sees his escape hatch here in the bottom of the order, and Solano takes in.
Yeah, Donovan has started a couple of games at second base this year. First start at short. Last year, Donovan started 3 games at shortstop.
28 at bats he carries into this with a 1-1 pitch coming from Nice. He takes down low. It's 2-1. Nice in a great spot here. He can, I mean, if for first and third, he's in a nice position. He can just try to make a perfect pitch. And Solano drills one left center field. That's deep. Lagares won't get it. It goes to the wall. Scoring is Ozuna. Right behind, on his way home, and scoring is Real Muto and Donovan Solano, who gets the start for Echeverria, gives Miami a 2-1 lead.
Boy, and that's how you answer back, and that's how psychology plays into this game. Great AB. Donovan just stays with his approach. We talked about with little playing time how he's continued to hit the ball well even though he didn't show results. That ball he hammers. No error is going to be charged to Lagares. 2 runs come in on that double by Solano.
And maybe the happiest guy in the dugout outside of Dan Jennings has got to be Marcell Ozuna, who, as Tommy put it quite accurately, locked up at third base. And now very relieved.
Well, there are other terms for that, too. I had to choose them carefully.
And Ozuna will be the first to tell you he locked up, but quite relieved now that he's home. And here's Kohler with Solano at second. And Nice misses out, and it's 2-1. 1 for 16 is Kohler. I'm sure a nice contingent from the Kohler family is here.
And how about the turn of events now for Tom Kohler after getting the big double play ball to get out of that inning? All of a sudden, he's got the lead.
Rolf and baby Riley.
His wife Ashley there. They're feeling a little better than they did in the bottom half of the first right now.
Kohler swings and misses. I don't think there's many around from his Stony Brook contingent that's usually here. They're all focused on the NCAA tournament. Stony Brook plays today. They lost yesterday.
Yeah, they were shut out by NC State, so they'll have to come back and try to win today.
D. Gordon now, he lined out to center in his initial at bat. Gordon with good numbers against Nice, now 3 for 5. He flips one foul. Gordon leads in a lot of categories: batting average, hits, stolen bases, votes as far as National League second basemen go, the All-Star game. Solano at second. Gordon again goes down that left field line. Outstanding crowd here. We mentioned it the last time we were here in New York. Really the first time that you really felt a big time buzz that you used to feel a lot at Shea Stadium. And why not? I mean, the Mets are...
Hey, they're playing good baseball.
They are.
They had just under 34,000 last night. Come into play 5 games over 500. And they come into play, actually everybody in the East starts looking at the Nationals with some of the things they're dealing with now.
Steven Strasburg with a neck injury last night.
You talked about Jason Worth, who's on the disabled list. He'll be out for a while. A wrist injury.
Anthony Rendon is trying to get off the disabled list. 1-2. Gordon, emergency swing. Murphy gets him at first base. Miami gets 2 and leads it 2-1. Marlins and Cubs open their series on Monday. A 7:10 start. All you can eat. KMB Franks, peanuts, popcorn, nachos, Pepsis, and Aquafina. It's just $30. And all first responders with an ID receive complimentary tickets on South Florida Heroes Mondays presented by Outback. Go to Marlins.com for more details. This is Juan Legares. And we'll see if Tom Kohler can settle in, as you put it, in this second inning.
Well, you hope that after the pitches he made to Kadire and Flores to get big outs, that'll get him back in a nice groove. And mainly early on for a pitcher, it's establishing command of that fastball, is establishing the breaking balls.
2-1. A slew of games this afternoon on this Saturday. Dan Herron so good yesterday. Look out. Kohler lost his cap. He got Charlie Brown. Let's hope that, I don't know if it nicked him or deflected or just disrupted him.
I think just disrupted, and probably a lot closer than he initially thought. Wow.
I think it grazed his right shoulder.
And then D. Gordon right there to make the play. Looks like the ball changed directions a little bit. See if we can hear it. The big salad got tossed a little bit.
He did. And thankfully he didn't get hit in the head.
Sometimes now it's just regrouping after the initial shock of that ball being hit so sharply. And then as a veteran, Jeff Baker goes over and, tries to say something funny just to get him on track.
But Kohler's as tough as they come.
Yes, he is.
And he says he's all right. And he goes back to work. It's funny, there was an exchange there at the end with Chuck Hernandez as they were all leaving the mound. Chuck stopped. There's Chuck just in your picture there. And the home plate umpire, Mike DeMuro, is out there. And, of course, in a case like that, you can't offer any baseball advice.
Yeah, it's an injury visit, so it doesn't count as a visit by the pitching coach.
Plawecki goes after the first pitch, punches it in the gap. Yelich picks it up. And the Mets catcher has a one-out single. And here's Jonathan Neese.
I'm sure Neese will be asked to drop down a sacrifice bunt. This is a play as an infielder, especially Martin Prado. You realize that Plawecki, the catcher, a little below average speed.
Neese pulls it back. This one goes off Kohler. Solano gets it out and almost gets the double play. Neese beats the throw. That one went through Kohler and slowed it down enough for Solano to get to the bag. Here's a look.
Well, he pulls the bat back. He does what you like to see a hitter do. A good effort by Solano, but Neese got up the line quickly. Did they score that 1-6, or did it get a piece of Tom Kohler? Not sure.
Top of the order, Curtis Granderson. So Neese is at first. There are two outs. And Granderson hooks it foul.
Initially, they've scored at 6 unassisted, but We're being told that it did catch a piece of his glove.
It sure looked like it. It sure looked like it slowed the ball down.
Yeah, it looked like it slowed. I think if it doesn't, the double play's turned because Solano gets it faster.
Down 0-2. So both outs have gone off of Kohler. And then D. Gordon made the first play. Solano makes the next one. Kohler misses out.
See if you can see it clip the glove. Just a little bit, yeah.
D. Gordon on to first. And Kohler survives the second. 2-1, Miami. Half inning. He and Donovan Solano talking it over. Enter now for a chance to win a trip to the Major League Baseball All-Star Game on Fox for you and 3 of your friends. Upload 2 photos at foxsports.com. Fantastic All-Star. Now through June 3rd. In New York, 2-1 Miami. Martin Prado, Giancarlo Stanton, Jeff Baker in the 3rd inning against Jonathan Neese. Prado singled in the 1st inning. Both Miami runs coming on a Donovan Solano 2-run double. That in the 2nd. The Mets got a run right out of the chute in the 1st. And after the Mets scored, they had the bags loaded and nobody out. And Tom Kohler escaped. He got a pop-up from Michael Kadire and a double play ball from Wilmer Flores. That brings you up to speed on a 2-1 Miami lead.
You know, still shaken up, I'm sure. It got me there. Maybe nicked the top of my head. So just kind of going over where he got touched up. But as you said, a tough guy. He should be fine.
Prado fouls it off.
We've done this over the years. We've scouted Jonathan Neese, who signed through 2016, signed a 5-year contract a few years ago. A lot of cutters and sinkers, big breaking curveball. Yeah, we saw him pull the bat back. He swings the bat well.
For the many years that you've done this, have you had a pitcher whose scouting report changed over time?
Yeah. Yeah, as guys have gotten older, I'd have to think.
Prado again goes to the right side. This time Duda with the dive gets there and gets the out.
Greg Maddux kind of changed over the years. Didn't throw as hard.
I'll tell you one guy.
Tim Hudson a little bit.
I was going to go on the same team, Tim Lincecum.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. By the way, I love it. You and I love it when our crack staff checks in. Stony Brook scored 5 in the first inning against Sacred Heart, whose AD is Bobby Valentine. So how about that connection?
So it's a Marlin connection against a Met connection in that game. Tom Kohler's alma mater, Stony Brook. Stan struck out back in the first.
Dick in Wellington always chiming in with some good information.
Stanton drives one center field. Lagares goes back, looks up, and it's gone. Wow, that thing just gained a little altitude and zipped out of here. For Stanton, his 14th, a bullet to right center.
We marvel every time Stanton crushes the ball. And for Giancarlo, that's his 4th career home run against Jonathan Neese. A line drive that just kept rising. Fastball. Lagares just turned. Man. That is fun to watch. Don't ever get tired of that.
Baker swung at the first pitch, takes it down low. As you could tell from those replays, Stanton didn't think it was out initially. He was busting it down first base while he watched.
I think his concern was probably height. Was it going to be high enough?
Baker now to right field. Granderson onto the warning track, and in that alcove makes the catch. Baker just can't seem to hit it away from anybody. Let's check in with Craig Minervini.
Hey, Rich, thank you very much. Starting to see some very good signs from the Marlins offense last few games. Remember Wednesday they hit a couple of homers against the Pirates. You had the 3-run homer from Justin Bour in the ball game last night, and 3 extra base hits here in this ball game. Look at the numbers when you look for the Marlins. Some very good numbers. The leadoff man getting on base best in the majors. They're second in the majors in singles. Their average respectable in the top 10. We'll take a look, though. The bad side for the Marlins is the slugging. They haven't had enough extra base hits, but it's changing. 103 coming into the game. Runs lower third of the major league. Slugging is down. Ground ball percentage is a funny stat. They're not even close to everybody else. 2.35. The league average is 1.5 on the ground ball fly ball ratio. But what have you seen here? A couple of doubles in this game. The Marlins were third to last in doubles in the league. And you saw 2 in 1 inning, and you get those extra base hits and the homers, and you put some runs on the board in a little quicker fashion.
No, you're right. Ozuna with a double, Solano with a double, Stanton with a homer. That helps the slugging percentage. Ozuna, a slow trickler up the middle. Murphy's throw, close. Ozuna thought he was safe. I would expect the Marlins may look at it and start the replay process. And Jennings is out of the dugout. He'll wait in front of the dugout. A Stanton home run has made it 3-1. Ozuna, hopeful, is still out there at first base. And the Marlins will not challenge. So Ozuna is out, Stanton goes out, and it's 3-1. Giancarlo Stanton now tied with Bryce Harper in runs driven in. Drove one over the right center field fence. I'm not sure if that ball is affected by the new dimensions or not.
It's definitely not a home run at home because it wasn't high enough.
And it's definitely not a home run when they opened the joint 5 or 6 years ago. Actually, this is the 7th year of baseball in Citi Field. Ruben Tejada, Lucas Duda, and Daniel Murphy. And now I think the focus is on Tom Kohler to see if he can tighten things up. He's given up a run. He's not been as sharp as he has been in his last 3 starts. The good news is he's got a 3-1 lead. We've watched Dan Herron, when he doesn't have his best stuff, not last night, but the start before that, be able to navigate through 6 innings. That's a nice pitch from Kohler. It's 3-2.
I'm checking back quickly, and I'm not 100% accurate, but the quick check tells me 6 of Giancarlo's last 10 hits have been home runs.
Fly ball towards the line. Stanton is over, and it's a couple rows in.
Yeah, I think an important inning for Tom Kohler after what he went through last inning with balls hit back at him. Important inning for him to just settle back in.
Tejada singled in that first. And Kohler lost him. Leadoff walk. Cubs series starts on Monday, and on Tuesday it's Back to the Future night, and of course a social media night at 7:10, celebrating Back to the Future 2, and of course the Miami versus the Cubs World Series prediction and preview in that movie. Pick up social media night packages at marlins.com/special events. You get a game ticket and a limited edition t-shirt. All of that on Tuesday. Cubs and Marlins. Here's Duda.
Talk about home run barrages. Duda, 6 home runs his last 7 games.
We went through the numbers with Duda. On base, slugging. As you pointed out, 9 home runs for him. Cracks it to center. Ozuna makes the catch just shy of the track, and Tejada has to scamper back. Here comes Daniel Murphy. National League teams that are in action right now in the East first. The Nationals have the first run against the Reds. 1-0 Washington on top of Cincinnati. Bryce Harper was scratched from that game. And of course, Steven Strasburg injured last night. Marlins had a start against Strasburg when he exited with pain in his shoulder blade. It was neck area, and he's been placed on the 15-day disabled list.
So the Nationals have Clint Robinson, Michael Taylor, and Denard Span in their outfield today.
Ozuna, it's well hit at the track, makes the catch. 2 balls to the deepest part of this ballpark. First from Duda, then from Murphy.
You brought it up at the beginning of the game, Rich. We sat up here, we watched batting practice, a warm day, and you could just see a lot of balls jumping and carrying. Tom Kohler wasn't sure. He was happy Ozuna was able to track it down. I think another important thing for the ball club, for Tom Kohler from this point on, is for Tom to have a good game on the road. because that's where he's really struggled this year.
Michael Kadire popped out back in the first. It's a slow tapper D. Gordon's way.
Good job.
And gets the out. Tom Kohler gets through the third. Miami in New York up 3-1. I mean that literally. Tom Kohler has a couple of balls that have come back and clipped him. One bounced off his shoulder and the side of his head. The other off his glove. But he has held it together and holds a 3-1 lead as Christian Yelich stands in against Nice. A big breaking ball for a strike. JT Realmuto and Donovan Solano also coming up against the Mets lefty.
It's always a great note on Jonathan Nice. You can literally say he was born to be a Met. He was born October 27th, 1986, the night the Mets won the World Series.
Two-1. Yelich shoots it into left field, a base hit. And going hard, Kadire picks it up. So a hit for Yelich. Speaking of hitting, our AT&T Rewind brought to you by AT&T U-verse. Oh, it's the wives softball game, and that must be Ashley Kohler going yard. Man, can she rake.
Oppo, too. She's had some Oppo power.
And she is with Craig Minervini. Craig?
Thank you very much, Rich. You just said I'll never live that down, but it was a great moment as JT Realmuto.
To left and deep and gone.
Oh, yeah.
Realmuto bangs one out of here, and Miami's lead is now 5-1. Second big league homer for Realmuto. Ashley Kohler can appreciate that, Craig.
That's a shot that she's used to hitting in her softball career. How about that one to help out your husband?
Yeah, that was awesome. A great hit. Mine, of course, was always the opposite field.
That was your power. Let's talk a little bit about Tom here because he's pitched in New York before. He's got a chance here, at least the way it looks. Got a shot at maybe getting his first win. Would that be important to him to win in New York, I mean?
Yeah. I mean, we always have a lot of family here, and I have a couple of teammates I haven't seen in years, so it's always fun to play in New York. I'm sure he always gets a little bit nervous, but, it's doing pretty good.
Not Riley here, who's now 11 months old. Last year, you missed the softball game because you were carrying Riley, but she's nice and comfortable. And Stony Brook University, the guys are talking about playing in the collegiate playoffs right now. You had a chance to play there. And it really was your dad helped insist that you keep your great softball career going. You were thinking of staying on the West Coast.
I was. I actually wasn't planning on playing softball anymore. I was going to probably just go to Long Beach State and work and go to school. And my dad was pretty insistent that I not give up that dream. So just kind of worked out that way, I guess.
And it worked out great. You get a meeting Tom, of course, started for the baseball team. You guys met. The rest is history as he comes up to the plate. Do you ever talk hitting with Tom?
I try to, and I tend to give him pretty good advice, but he doesn't like to listen to me.
What kind of advice would you give?
Just keep the swing short. Or Riley will say. Just keep the swing short. Try to just drive it up the middle. Don't do too much. Sometimes he likes to try to hit it out. Sometimes, but as long as it gets the bunt down, I'm happy.
Yeah, that's very good thinking. All right, Riley's getting a little upset with this interview for some reason.
She's very tired. Yeah.
Okay, Riley, we won't want to talk too much more. Well, actually, it's good seeing you. I know this start's always nice. Dad's in town for Tom, and to come back to New York is fun for you guys to relive great memories, huh?
Yeah, it's always a good time. I've been out of college for like 7 years now, so it's kind of crazy, but I always love visiting here, and it's a good time.
It is the week of crying babies. Didn't we talk to, was it Maria Phelps the other day, and we upset her beautiful son too. So.
Have them in tow.
Okay. How many women on the team now? Did you say 4? We had 6 early in the year.
I don't know. A lot of girls are pregnant now, so definitely don't want to drink the water at Marlins Park.
Back to you guys.
Here's the 1-2 to Kohler, and he reaches out and hits a flare out to center. And Juan Lagares makes the catch. Craig has to dial in on the nap schedule.
Yeah,
and time those interviews around the naps.
Nap schedule usually gets a little off during baseball season.
That's a good point. Miami has 2 more here in the 4th. JT Realmuto with a 2-run shot to left. And here's D. Gordon for his 3rd at bat.
The good thing about Realmuto also, it came after the base hit of Yelich. Yelich extends his hitting streak to 7 games. So a 2-run shot by JT.
Gordon is lined out, bounced out. Jonathan Neese touch for a pair of home runs. Stanton solo shot. Realmuto the 2-run homer. And then Donovan Solano's 2-run double. That's the damage for the Fish. And a lot of baseball to be played here on an afternoon at Citi Field. A right-hander ready in the pen. Three and 1. Gordon scorches one up the middle into center field. D. Gordon now with an 8-game hit streak. His first hit of the day. He might not be at first base very long. And Jonathan Neese might not be on the mound very long if this continues, especially with Stanton a hitter away.
75 hits now for D. Gordon. You mentioned the 8-game hitting streak. And still maintaining a healthy lead in the National League batting race.
Neese gets a strike on the outside corner. 20 stolen bases. You don't see another National League hitter on that list in terms of base hits.
Yeah, the incredible thing about D. Gordon, they're the hits. Prince Fielder, Major League's Prince dropped down a little bit. He's in the 360s now. A little bit of a quick pitch there. But D with 20 stolen bases. We forget that the Marlins leader last year in stolen bases was Christian Yelich, who had 21.
He's running, got a good jump, pitches low, And Gordon steals it easily. Whoa! It's a called third strike, and Prado can't believe it. Prado's at home plate right now, still discussing it with Mike DeMuro. And Dan Jennings coming out of the dugout.
Yeah, you got to be careful. Martine's not going to get thrown out. He knows. He also knows that pitch wasn't a strike. He knows there's a short bench. He can't afford to get thrown out.
Well, you saw how badly it missed on Fox Tracks as well. Let's go places. By AutoNation. Save on over 70,000 vehicles now. Visit AutoNation.com. And by H.H. Gregg. Top brands, low prices, fast delivery. Gregg's got it. Now, Martin Prado wasn't happy. D. Gordon wasn't happy either. He had second base stolen. But as Tommy Hutton pointed out, it's a really thin bench for Miami today. And Prado, smart enough to know that, stayed in the ball game. Here's the pitch, a two-strike pitch to Prado with Gordon running.
Who had the bag stolen. Prado steps away. You can see on Fox Tracks it's very inside.
Liner to left, and Wilmer Flores has a hit.
And the other thing, having watched Martin Prado not only as a Marlin but over the years with other teams, he doesn't argue very often. So you know when he brings up a point, he's right, and he was. But he also knows if Echeverria isn't able to play, he might be. There really isn't another infielder on the bench.
Here's Juan Lagares. Flores with a hit. Lagares, he has a hit into right. Stanton picks it up. And the day for Tom Kohler, if you were just to watch Kohler on the mound and not having seen the Marlins hit at all, and you heard the score was 5-1, you might think that the Mets were up. They've blistered the ball. They had that bases loaded, nobody out spot in the first and didn't score. They had scored previously in that inning.
They have hit a lot of baseballs hard. Even some of the outs have been hit hard.
And so the job for Kohler now is try to navigate through the bottom of the order here with runners first and second. You'll probably get a pinch hitter on deck for Nice. And Plawecki takes ball one. Plawecki singled back in the second. You think back to the two balls that were hit in the third inning. Danny Munoz is on deck. Those two balls out to center by Lucas Duda and Daniel Murphy. There's a good curveball for a strike.
That pitch will help if he can show he can get that over a little more. Just caught the corner.
That's a strike as well. The other thing that might help right now, the mound is somewhat in shadows and the plate's in the sun. So the ball's coming out of the darkness. Real Muto.
Boy, good job. I mean, there are a lot of reasons that's a good play, but it keeps that double play in order. Number one. Just sacrificing, getting down, taking it off the chest protector.
And that breaking ball just missed. Count full now, 3-2. Just off the plate. Dan Jennings, Chuck Hernandez. Count full. Flores at second, Lagares at first. Breaking ball, got him.
Great pitch. That's the last pitch Kevin Plawecki was looking for.
And he's not happy right now with Mike DeMuro. Let's take a look at it. It's a good pitch. It caught the plate, and it was right in the strike zone.
First strikeout for Tom Kohler. He has struggled somewhat with that pitch, so the last thing Plawecki was looking for was a curveball. He was looking for heat.
Danny Munoz now. Kohler misses out, so Jonathan Neese's day is done. 0 for 13 is Munoz. 0 for his last 13.
Yeah, we actually saw him get his first major league base hit. Got an infield single off Sam Dyson.
Became the 15th player in Met history to get his first major league hit as a pinch hitter in his first major league game. The last to do it before he did it, Mike Jacobs in 2005. (3-0). And Kohler misses high. The bags are loaded. And here comes Granderson. South Florida Honda dealers, get you ready for tomorrow's ball game. It's a David Phelps Bartolo Colon start. Marlins live tomorrow. Craig Minervini from Citi Fields. Curtis Granderson has hit 6 home runs this year. 4 have come in this ballpark. And this was last night against Dan Herron.
For whatever reason, he has been a better hitter here at Citi Field. You talked about the power numbers. Average is better here as well. It's been a struggle for Tom Kohler. 3 walks, a hit batter. But so far, he's been able to minimize the damage.
There's that breaking ball, and it seems like now a go-to pitch whenever he needs a strike. Kohler once again trying to escape. In the air, left center, fairly deep. Yelich is back at the track, off the wall, picked up there by Ozuna. Scoring from third is Flores. Bags are still loaded. That ball just kept carrying and carrying.
Well, it's one of the longest singles you're going to see all year. When it was first hit, you thought fly ball to medium left field. It carried. It carried. Christian Yelich couldn't get there. Well played by Ozuna. And because every runner was thinking that same thing, they could all just move up 90 feet.
Now it's Tejada who has singled and walked. Third hit of the inning. 5-2 Marlins, and Miami's bullpen is scrambling. That one's in the gap. Ozuna won't get it, and it's going to go to the wall. Scoring is Lagares. Munoz behind him. Here comes Granderson. And the Mets, just like that, have tied it.
I don't think anybody who is following the Marlins, you and I, everybody in that dugout, I don't think anybody's surprised because Tom Kohler just hasn't had it since the first inning. The Mets have squared up a lot of balls, and the big hit right there by Ruben Tejada to tie it.
Tejada's fourth double. And Duda takes low and in. Vin Mazzaro is the right-hander in Miami's pen.
We talked about that last time, April 19th, right here. Tom Kohler, 3 1/3 innings, allowed 7 runs in the 4th inning, and here we are in the 4th inning.
This is the 3rd time through the lineup for the Met hitters. Duda, an RBI double, and a long fly ball out to straightaway center.
And remember, you have some lefties in the lineup. But we also have seen Brad Hand in the rotation. He started a game in Pittsburgh. So that just gives you, and he's scheduled to start Tuesday from what we're told. So that just gives you one lefty, Mike Dunn, in that bullpen. So a short bench, one lefty in the bullpen. I think something has to be done with the roster a little bit. You know, you can say all you want about Dan Jennings and his managing. You got to help him out a little bit on the roster.
Jose Urena on Monday. Hand on Tuesday, and Duda walks. Mets now at 1st and 2nd. Here comes Murphy, and I'm not sure that he's going to face Kohler here. Dan Jennings sends Real Muto out. I think they want to buy it a few more seconds for Mazzaro to warm up.
We saw Vin Mazzaro work an inning in Pittsburgh the other day.
Well, it's going to be a bullpen game from here on out, and this game isn't even in the 5th inning. Both starters are gone. Ruben Tejada's 3-run double has tied it. Then Mazzaro coming out of the bullpen. It's a Wes Kendall called to the bullpen by Wes Kendall Toyota. As presented by the authority, the Marlins may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. Accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Miami Marlins. Well, the bottom of the fourth signals the end for both Tom Koehler and for Jonathan Neese. Koehler knocked out here in this half inning. Neese was pinch hit for this half inning. And the Marlins, who had built a 5-1 lead, have seen it disappear quickly. Mazzaro comes in with runners first and second, and a hot Daniel Murphy waiting for him.
And it's also, Rich, a hot Met bullpen. The month of May, their bullpen has an ERA just a little over 2. So they've pitched well down there. They have some hot arms, some good arms.
Murphy takes a strike. And he and Mike DeMuro have a discussion, and that's why. It was clearly out. Oh, 1.
You realize, Rich, in that ball game back in April when Tom Koehler gave up the 7 in the 4th inning, a big bases clearing double by Ruben Tejada.
Mazzaro had 2 scoreless appearances in Pittsburgh, totaling 3 innings. Didn't walk anyone, struck out 3. He's having a solid year in New Orleans.
So Ruben Tejada has 7 RBIs this year. 6 have come on 2 bases clearing doubles off Tom Koehler.
He's at second. Lucas Duda, the trail runner, at first. Still only 1 out here. 4 runs across, bottom 4. Murphy sends that in the air to center. Ozuna makes the catch. So Mazzaro gets an out. There are 2 outs, and here comes Michael Kadire. All 5 of the runs that Koehler has given up, and he is responsible for the 2 out there right now, are earned. Neese gave up 5 runs, all but 1 earned. I guess the silver lining for Terry Collins and Dan Jennings is that both their bullpens are very well rested. Off day for both teams on Thursday. Dan Herron went 7, Matt Harvey went 8 last night.
And when you're a manager, you're always grasping for that silver lining.
That or a silver linings playbook, right?
Now you watch that on the plane.
Kadire, the 9th man to come to the plate.
If you're an Eagles fan.
0-2. To right, Stanton over, and he makes a running catch towards the line, and that ends a 4-run 4th for the Mets. Ball game at Citi Field. Wednesday night, Marlins and Cubs. Kids eat free on Wednesdays. 7:10 start. Every child 12 and under with a ticket gets a free KM Beef Frank, bag of Frito-Lay chips, Pepsi, or Aquafina water. It's the first Wind Down Wednesday of the season, presented by Barefoot Wines. Get your tickets at marlins.com. Well, this game's starting all over, it feels like.
Yeah, it is.
It's the 5th inning. You've got 2 new pitchers coming in. Eric Goodell is the first for the Mets out of their bullpen. And it's all tied at 5-5, 7 hits apiece. Goodell gets Giancarlo Stanton, Jeff Baker, and Marcell Ozuna. Stanton's home run was a bolt to right center. It just didn't get all that high, but climbed high enough to get out. And a fastball for a strike.
Goodell, part of that bullpen that has been super for Terry Collins. He hasn't allowed a run 16 of his 18 appearances.
Stanton now with 14 homers, and he's driven in 43. And in case you missed it, here's our Warren Henry drive of the game, number 14 on the season. That's a shot that Tejada spears, and Stanton is out, number 1. Here comes Jeff Baker.
Well, just another ball crushed. You know, the other thing about the Mets, Rich, their bullpen, as we've talked about, with the ERA a little over 2 in May, they've got reinforcements on the way. Henry Mejia in July, Jeremy Blevins, Bobby Parnell, Vic Black.
Baker got the start against the lefty John Neese and hit it hard twice, line to right, and then hit a deep fly ball into the alcove onto the warning track in right field in his second at bat.
It's been a frustrating couple of starts for Jeff Baker. He started in Pittsburgh against the lefty Jeff Locke. Line out to right, crushed the ball on the line to center, and walked in that game.
One and 2. So it's Eric Goodell and Vin Mazzaro. Tom Kohler and John Neese, neither will figure in the decision, and they're both out of the ball game. Baker takes fastball away.
Pretty good life on that Eric Goodell fastball.
Baker, broken bat up the middle, backhanded, and Murphy's throw is in time to get him. 2 outs in the 5th. Geico brings you our Major League Baseball moments. On this date, 1982, then a rookie, Cal Ripken plays the first of a record 2,621 consecutive games, and that streak spanned 17 seasons.
Incredible.
It really is. The further away you get from that record, just the wear and tear of a shortstop, the type of plays that a shortstop day in and day out has to make. And then you remember that Ripken was not a small man, is not a small man.
6'4".
And then you think, well, along the way, you're going to pull a hamstring, a quad.
You're going to get hit by a pitch, man. Like 100 Pence.
Ozuna shoots it out to short. Flores in the dirt. Duda picks it. And Ozuna is out. Eric Goodell restores order for the Mets. For the Fish, he's at shortstop because last night in the ninth, Daniel Murphy's pop-up, the collision, Christian Yelich and Adeiny Echeverria. Echeverria with a sore left shoulder is out in this ball game and probably out tomorrow as well. A cold hard fact brought to you by Clean Crisp Coors Light. Consecutive starts at shortstop. Echeverria's 61-game streak ended.
Which just brings more attention to that Cal Ripken streak.
Gonzo's longest streak was just 79 games. On a hop, Baker off the bag to get it. Wilmer Flores is out number one. Vin Mazzaro in for Tom Kohler has retired all three that he's faced.
I think you could see on that ball that Murphy hit last night, and when we heard Christian Yelich talking about it, it was one of those that it just wasn't catchable by either. You can see where it landed. Yelich couldn't get there, nor could Echeverria.
Here's Juan Lagares. And Mazzaro gets in.
We brought it up briefly with Vin Mazzaro, 28-year-old, big league experience. Had some time with Oakland, Kansas City, and had a terrific year a couple of years ago, 2013 with Pittsburgh. 8-2. Had a 281 earned run average.
He's got to feel comfortable here. He was born in Hackensack, New Jersey, and was drafted by the A's out of Rutherford High School back in 2005. That's in New Jersey. Rutherford, New Jersey is where he makes his home. Drafted by Oakland, sent to Kansas City in the David DeJesus trade. Then to the Pirates. As we said, in Pittsburgh was a really nice piece for that postseason team in 2013 with the Pirates. Was 8-2 out of the bullpen with an ERA of 2.81 and made 57 appearances for Clint Hurdle and the Bucks.
He's in that bullpen with Brian Morris.
Two and two for the Mets Gold Glove center fielder. Jam shot, and Ozuna's there, and he makes the catch. Even balls like that seem to be carrying a little better today.
Yeah, because that was a jam shot, and it carried to Marcell Ozuna. Yeah, I think you look at it now, and certainly it is up to both bullpens to restore order and see what happens. So far, so good for Vin Mazzaro. He's done a nice job.
Another pop up off the bat of Plawecki. It's over the screen and out of play.
For a minute, I thought that ball might carry to second base.
Alex Torres in the bullpen.
Yeah, the one thing, because of the short bench that Dan Jennings is strapped with today, Terry Collins knows if he brings in a lefty, he probably will get a lefty-lefty matchup.
Prado in there, makes the catch. Vin Mazzaro back in the Northeast, looks quite comfortable in a 5-5 game. Visit your South Florida Chevy dealers today. And by Checkers, get Checkers authentic Philly cheesesteak. Try the new meatball sub. Pick yours. Lady Liberty. This, weather-wise, has been a fantastic trip to New York. Off day on Thursday. Night game yesterday. Marlins a 4-3 win and a 5-5 ball game. A 4 o'clock start here in New York. Arrives at the top of the 6th with Christian Yelich awaiting Eric Goodell. No relation to Eddie Goodell, the famed pinch hitter from, I believe, the 40s, right?
Yeah, I was thinking about that earlier. I wonder if the knowledge of today's player is enough where you could nickname Eric Goodell Eddie, and anybody would know what you were talking about.
For those that don't, Eddie Goodell, the shortest player in baseball history, Bill Veeck, hired him as a pinch hitter. In one hand, it was a publicity stunt. In the other hand, he walked, right? His only at bat. Smallest strike zone ever.
Yeah, he got on base. But the commissioner came down on that after that one appearance.
Yelich a 1-for-2 day. Outside corner, it's 2-2. Reached on an error in the second, singled, and scored on the Real Muto homer in the fourth. Giancarlo Stanton, JT Real Muto have homered. Donovan Solano a 2-run double. And that is strike 3 called. So Yelich goes down, and it brings up Real Muto. That's almost a perfect pitch, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. They actually the last two. Number 4, fastball right there. Number 5, perfect.
Real Muto's homer, a no doubter to left over the Party City deck. Swing and a miss. And it's 0-1.
Real Muto told me he had a nice off day with family over in New Jersey. Has a sister lives over in Jersey.
Granderson over. Now it's in, and it's going to land and bounce into the seats. And Real Muto's got himself a double.
Just in the right spot. JT Real Muto. Duda can't get there. Granderson playing over. He kind of took an interesting route. He circled a little bit, and the ball bounces in. So JT now has 6 doubles on the year, 2 home runs, and 3 triples.
I think both Real Muto and Granderson felt that was going to be a foul ball all the way. And you saw Real Muto going down the line with some doubt, and Granderson's route suggested he thought it was going into the seats. Well, here's Solano. Ichiro is on deck. Breaking ball misses in to Solano. One of the subplots to this ball game, especially now that it's 5-5 and it's a bullpen game, Miami's bench is razor thin with the injury to Echeverria. Now, Echeverria could probably pinch run, but whether he could hit or not is really in doubt. And so for Dan Jennings, he really has to manage carefully in terms of pinch hit appearances.
I tried to watch during batting practice. I don't think I saw Echeverria taking batting practice.
Real Muto runs. He gets picked. The ball's in the dirt, and he's in there. JT Real Muto aggressive on the bases. And I think it surprised Goodell that when he spun and looked to second, Real Muto was almost at third.
And a second stolen base for Real Muto. Yeah, I think he hurried that throw because he was surprised and threw low to Tejada.
It is a stolen base, and Solano with the infield in now. High fastball. It could turn into an enormous stolen base. And if Solano can knock in this run.
I think a lot of pitchers will get around the league soon, but they kind of forget with Real Muto. They think, well, a catcher's out there at second base.
And Solano swings and misses. Goodell gets the strikeout. Dan Jennings doesn't have many bullets. One of them, though, is Ichiro, and he has to fire it here in the top of the 6th.
And the importance of Real Muto getting to third base in the case of Ichiro, who can get so many infield base hits. All of a sudden, an infield base hit. That runner from third scores.
If you're Terry Collins, do you go get the lefty to face Ichiro here? And
yeah, it looks like he's going to be a fun matchup. Remember the last time these two matched up together?
That's right.
Yeah.
We'll show you that when we get back. A rematch here. Torres and Ichiro. West Kendall Toyota, call to the pen. Not Alex Torres.
Well, maybe Terry Collins had in his memory that home run that Ichiro hit against Torres.
And so Leathersich takes over for Goodell. And here's Ichiro with Real Muto, the runner, at third. Now the Mets infield with Tejada and Duda have to respect bunt. At least you would expect it. Leathersich against Ichiro. 2 outs. Real Muto 90 feet away. And Leathersich misses away. You got another lefty bat on deck with D. Gordon. Ichiro's having a nice May. Fouls that one off. Sits at 2,876 career Major League hits. He's currently tied with Mel Ott for 41st place on the all-time list, just passing Babe Ruth.
That's the other advantage in the bullpen that the Mets have. Leathersich, we talked about Alex Torres. They also have left-hander Sean Gilmartin. So 3 left-handers in that bullpen. When the Marlins right now just have Mike Dunn as their lefty. The frustrating thing there, you think about Granderson, Murphy, Duda, some big bats that the Mets have that are lefties.
2-2 to Ichiro with 2 outs in the 6th. Struck him out outside corner. Caught looking. And Jack Leathersich catches the black and ends Miami's 6th. pen for Miami is Brian Morris. Ben Mazzaro was outstanding, an inning and 2/3. And Morris arrives here in the 9-1-2 spot in the Mets order. If you're just joining us, neither starter made it out of the 4th inning. And a 5-5 tie has held for the last 2 innings. Danny Echeverria banged his shoulder in that collision with Christian Yelich last night, not in the lineup. Miami was already playing with just a 4-man bench, and with Echeverria possibly down today, the Marlins are down to just 2 reserves now, Jonathan Solano and Justin Bour.
That's the tough thing about injuries that are 2-3 days, because if you put a man on the disabled list, it's 2 weeks, it's 14 days. With the exception of a concussion, a guy can go on a 1-week disabled list.
John Mayberry Jr., then Curtis Granderson and Ruben Tejada for the Mets. Tom Kohler 3 1/3, 7 hits, 5 runs. John Neese, 4 innings, 7 hits, 5 runs. In great contrast to last night, when you had Matt Harvey punching out 11 and going 8 innings, and Dan Herron going 7. Herron the winner last night, Harvey the loser. And Morris with a 4-pitch walk.
Well, the Michael Taylor fans in Fort Lauderdale will be happy. Youngster, a 3-run homer for the Nationals. Nationals now have a 5-2 lead in Cincinnati. So the youngster out of Fort Lauderdale with a big hit.
He's had some big hits in this season. That's his 4th homer. And he's driven in 16 runs in limited duty. Now Granderson and Morris, and a point in the lineup where he's got to start getting outs. This is a trio that has hurt Miami in this ball game. Granderson has scored twice, has an RBI single. Tejada is 2 for 2 with 3 RBIs, and Duda, an RBI double, is 1 for 2. Good pitch. 0-2.
Couple of good pitches after walking the pinch hitter leading off the inning. So Brian Morris has come back and made 2 real nice pitches.
Pitches in. Ruben Tejada, who already has 4 hits in the series, is on deck. 1-2 pitch coming. Did he go? Mark Carlson says no swing. Ryan Sandberg tossed out of a game yesterday for arguing check swings. You see on Fox Tracks, the pitch in question on the check swing was pitch 4, which actually caught the corner. It was called a ball. Two. Granderson's second year with the Mets. Shoots it foul.
Started his career with the Tigers. Big years with Detroit. And then continued on, had a 41 home run season with the Yankees, 2011.
Mayberry at first, the 2-2. And then Morris goes full now, 3-2.
See what Terry Collins does with Mayberry at first base.
Not running. And Morris walks Granderson. So back-to-back walks to open up the bottom of the 6th. And here comes Tejada, who has hurt the Marlins in this ball game and hurt the Marlins this year.
That's really frustrating for a pitching coach, for a manager, for a pitcher. In a tie ball game, as it moves on, and here we are in the 6th inning, to walk the first 2 hitters.
And to put runners on for this guy, this was the big blow against Tom Kohler. A 3-run double. It tied the game. Miami had a 5-1 lead going into this, the 4th inning.
And we told you that Tejada had a 3-run double against Tom Kohler back in April to clear the bases.
Mike Dunn is in the bullpen and he's ready. You've got Duda and Murphy following Tejada. Tejada's looked so good swinging the bat in this series. He is 4 for 6. Would you, if you were Terry Collins?
I don't know if you'd bunt anyway, because if he does and he's successful, then you can walk Duda. And you really, if you have him bunt and he's successful, you're giving up on one of your hot hitters.
Middle infield, playing for 2 corners, tight just in case. He does square and pushes it foul. Mayberry and Granderson. Nobody out. Bottom 6. He squares again. And Morris misses away. Martin Prado is the guy that calls the defensive signals. Infielders all look to him before the pitch.
He'll get him from the dugout.
Tejada squares and misses the bunt. Now it's 1-2. Mayberry not a speed demon at second. We got Granderson who can run at first. Ruben Tejada. The 1-2 coming. Laid off the breaking ball. Now it's 2-2.
Brian Morris trying to find that feel now to command the slider.
Bouncer, Prado dives, has it, out there. Gordon's turn, out. Oh, it drops out of Baker's glove. Safe at first. Marlins had the double play. Baker reached, and it popped right out of the glove.
Think about the shadows in left field, the bright sunshine at first base on a ball that was really thrown hard by D. Gordon. I didn't think the Marlins had a chance to turn two. The throw beat Tejada, would have been a double play, but Bake just couldn't hang on.
Still 5-5. Here comes Dunn. Morris exits. West Kendall Toyota called to the pen. Obviously leading up to the fantasy auction, all kinds of cool stuff. A D. Gordon authenticated autographed baseball, a legacy cap, a Marlins Fox Sports Florida dry fit shirt, 4 tickets to a Marlins game, Christian Yelich gold glove replica, Fox Sports 1 water bottle. There's the phone number right now, 305-480-2550, 305-480-2550. Your donation tax deductible at $150. Marlins.com/pledge pack. Also, will get you information and details on all of the items.
All right, and here is your assignment, Mr. Dunn. First and third, one out. Got a couple of tough lefties, Duda and then Murphy.
At the corners, Dunn to the plate, breaking ball, a strike.
Early in the year, especially in the month of April, it was a much improved Lucas Duda against lefties. It's an area that he really worked on in his game.
Oh, 1. And it's outs. You got Mayberry and Tejada on the corners. And another lefty, Daniel Murphy on deck. 5-5 game, bottom 6. Dunn to Duda. Duda has a natural lift to his swing. He's, as far as elevating the ball and getting it up in the air, probably the best guy the Mets have.
Yeah, and there are the splits this year. We talked about the improvement. Last year, Lucas Duda hit 180 against left-handers.
There's that swing. Duda has grounded into 4 double plays. A swing and a miss, and Mike Dunn It's a strikeout of Lucas Duda. A big out.
That's a big out. That's a good pitch. I thought the pitch that set up the whole at bat was the first pitch. First pitch slider for a strike. And he puts him away with that power fastball.
Now another lefty bat, Daniel Murphy. And Murphy takes.
Tried the same thing. Tried to drop a breaking ball in for strike one. Just missed.
Murphy is one of the toughest in all of baseball to strike out. The only guy tougher in the National League to strike out, Nori Aoki. Andrelton Simmons is third. Buster Posey is fourth. Ben Revere on that list as well. Count 2-0. Outfield straight up for Murphy. End of the bat. Solano goes to first and in time to get the out. Mike Dunn out of the pen rescues Brian Morris and keeps it 5-5. And of course, you can get bonus points during every Marlins telecast on Fox Sports Florida on the road. And your bonus code is NYC. Go to marlins.com/fishfamily. New York City. Marlins and Mets last night. Marlins a 4-3 win in game one. Still 5-5 here. The bullpens for both managers have been good. And the Mets going with Hansel Robles. He comes into the top of the order. D. Gordon, Martin Prado, and Giancarlo Stanton. Entertaining game, unless you are a starting pitcher. And for Tom Kohler and Jonathan Neese, neither got to the fifth inning.
Yeah, we talked about the game last night. The Marlins 4-3 win. Well-played game, entertaining. This in a different sort of entertainment. Of course, we're near Broadway. There's all kinds of different entertainment.
That's right. And it's a large house here out at Citi Field. Gordon's 1 for 3. His hit streak now at 8 straight. You had mentioned earlier how good the Mets bullpen has been of late. This month, second best ERA in the big leagues. Line drive base hit, another hit for D. Gordon. And he leads off the seventh with a hit, and we check in with Craig Minervini. Craig?
Yeah, Rich, thank you very much. Jeff Mathis continues his rehab down in the minors for the Marlins. You recall, it was back in April the 12th, a while ago now, that Jeff broke his hand, that right hand on that backswing as the ball caught him off the foul ball, right just below the knuckle. Now, the good news is the rehab's been going well, and as he returned the last few games here to play in AAA, he played a few games with New Orleans. The Zephyrs have moved on to Reno, so Mathis has moved on to AA Birmingham. He'll play tonight, his first game with the Suns. He's going to DH tonight. He'll likely catch tomorrow. He was 0 for 10 in AAA, but as you guys know, it's not so much results you need for the minors, it's getting time and getting your swing down, and more importantly for Mathis, his throwing game has been fine. He's been doing a lot of that, so no problem from a catching standpoint. And Dan Jennings told me they really need his leadership back. Could be back as soon as Monday, perhaps. He wants him to get about 15 to 20 at-bats down there. Guys?
All right, thank you. 5-5 in the 7th. D. Gordon. A threat to run.
Yeah, by all accounts, sounds like we could see Jeff Mathis in that Cubs series.
Robles, the stretch, not running. Fastball in.
There are a lot of reasons that make a good number 2 hitter. We've seen Martin Prado hit cleanup. We've seen him hit 5th. But when he's in this spot, he does such a good job in protecting D. Gordon, because he sees out of the corner of his eye if he gets a good jump.
High chopper over the glove of Tejada. Down the line. It's fair. Gordon racing for third. He'll stop right there. And the Marlins are set up second and third, and nobody out. Ruben Tejada tried to elevate. Prado got enough English on it to just get it over his glove. And the Mets had to race out to prevent Gordon from scoring all the way from first.
Boy, that's a good job. Watch Lenny Harris now over at third. Little action. Little action. He's telling D. Gordon, you stay right here. Stay right here. Nobody out. We got the big guy coming up. That's a situation later in a game. If you have the bottom of the order coming up, you might take a chance and send D. Gordon.
Now Stanton. Infield's back. Nobody out. Robles. Stanton a swing and a miss. And here's a spot where contact is at a premium. That's Prado's second hit of the game. Stanton homered in the third. He lined out to third in the 5th. And Robles misses in.
You have to look ahead because you have Jeff Baker on deck. You do have Justin Bour, but they have the lefty Alex Torres warming up.
Stanton takes up and in.
So if it gets to that, the thought is you'd probably rather have Jeff Baker, who's been in the game, hit against the right-hander than bring in Justin Bour, who has just 5 at-bats against left-handers this year. And only 10 in his career.
And it further depletes the bench down to 1 reserve. Here's a 2-1 to Stanton. It's way out. And it's 3-1. Oh, there's a good count here for Stanton, certainly. With Gordon and Prado out there. And nobody out in the 7th. Outfield playing Stanton to right center. Stanton tied for the National League lead with 43 runs driven in. 3-1 coming. It's up, it's out. Stanton walks. Bags are loaded, and here comes Baker.
Yeah, those 43 RBIs that Stanton and Harper have, those lead the major leagues too.
Well, in watching Jeff Baker over the last week, whenever he gets a chance to play, he hits it hard. He just can't find an opening out there. He has sprayed line drives all over the outfield in Pittsburgh and then here in New York. Here he gets a chance with the bags loaded and nobody out. Middle infield is back for 2. Baker swings and misses. 99 miles an hour.
Wow.
Not many guys named Hansel can throw 99.
He had to.
Robles, the hard thrower. 0-1 to Baker. Outside corner, and it's 0-2.
They dropped it down to 98 and picked the corner, or did he?
No, that was off the plate, and he got the call. And so now Baker behind in the count, 0-2. Gordon, Stanton, Prado out there. And he got him. 98 and up. Robles gets the first out here in the 7th. And here comes Ozuna.
Real easy windup, and that ball just explodes out of his hand. Upper 90s fastballs from Robles.
Well, he looks like a completely different pitcher in the Baker at bat than in the Stanton at bat, didn't he? Let's see what the Ozuna at bat brings. Now a ground ball could finish the inning. Ozuna's doubled in 3 trips. And that's 97 on the black. Whew. Wow. In terms of bat speed, Ozuna may be the quickest on the Marlins. But that one was thrown right by him.
Especially in that area, too. Up a little bit, in a little bit.
Yelich is on deck. Ozuna puts it up in the air towards the dugout. Duda's there, and it blows back, and he makes the catch. Gordon tags and then goes back. And so Robles, after loading the bases, gets 2 outs. Now here is Yelich. You see D. Gordon.
Might as well give him a little scare if you have that kind of speed.
And Terry Collins staying with Robles against Yelich. Yelich fouls it back. And this may be a manager watching the last 2 at bats and seeing Robles all of a sudden come to life on the mound. Yelich 1 for 3. Singled and scored back in the 4th. Bag still full. Yelich's hit streak now at 7 games. Real Muto hoping to get a shot here in the 7th as well. Yelich into right center. It's going to fall for a hit. Gordon will score. Prado will score, and it gets by Granderson. Here comes Stanton. He's held at the last minute, and the Marlins get 2 and lead at 7-5. And Christian Yelich drives home a couple.
Great job by Christian Yelich. I think he got a slider from Robles, who's been throwing 97 and 98. And then the ball squibs by Granderson. It's still a base hit. 2 RBIs for Yelich. He takes second on the error by Granderson. Great hitting, clutch hitting by Yelich.
Well, the lefty was ready in the bullpen. Terry Collins stuck with Robles, who looked so dominant against Baker and Ozuna. Now Real Muto bangs one off his foot. And the count is 0-1. There will be an error on the play that allows Yelich to get to second. Real Muto blasted one into the seats, a 2-run homer in the fourth, and then had a wind-blown pop-up that landed fair and bounced up into the seats down the right field line for a ground rule double. Oh and 2. And he struck him out. But the Marlins get 2. 7th inning stretch in Gotham. Christian Yelich puts the fish on top. Pitches. They always say it's the dark night rising. For Christian Yelich, he's kind of like wouldn't call him the Dark Knight, maybe the young Prince. He's rising, isn't he, after that
he is.
Terrific year last year?
Yeah, the greatest part about talking about Christian Yelich, you and I, when we talk to scouts, none of them are worried about where he is average-wise. They all know where he's going to be at the end. They all say someday he's going to be a 300 hitter, could win a batting title. It's because of his approach. He had a tough start this year, had some back issues, but lately he's back swinging the way he can.
And Yelich in this one has 2 hits, 2 enormous RBIs. 7-5 Marlins. Carter Capps will get Michael Kadire, Wilmer Flores, and Juan Lagares. And so here is Capps. He takes over for Mike Dunn. And remember, the 2 outs that Dunn got to finish the 6th were rather important as well. Kadire. Capps has that unique delivery and evens the count at 1-1 with Kadire. Breaking ball into left field, a base hit. Fox Sports Florida Fantasy Auction is coming up on Wednesday. If you'd like to participate as a donor, we raise money for South Florida youth. We invite you to call 305-480-2550 and get in on the pledge backs. It's a $150 donation. A D. Gordon authenticated autographed baseball is just one of the many items. You can check it out at marlins.com/pledge packs. It'll give you details of all you get. There are operators standing by for your call. Solano deep in the hole. Out there. Gordon's turn is wild. It bounces off the front of the dugout. Wilmer Flores will hold first. Gordon is okay. Took a hard slide from Kadire.
Yeah, and I don't think it was a double play. I don't think it could have been turned, but D. Gordon tried to. Gets a pretty good feed from Donovan. Remember, they haven't worked a whole lot together. Clean, hard slide by the veteran, Michael Kadire. But Flores just gets up there and beats the throw. Fortunately, it did not go in the dugout, and Flores remains at first base. Yeah, that autographed ball, Major League's leading hitter.
That's right. And there's the phone number to call. Operators will be with us throughout the game. 305-480-2550. Caps to the plate with a strike.
So you got the Major League's leading hitter in D. Gordon. You have the leading vote getter among second basemen in the National League.
And that's part of what you get for your tax-deductible donation. All the funds go to South Florida youth, reviving baseball in the inner city, Boys and Girls Club, all of the things that you're able to do with the charities. We here at Fox Sports Florida are very proud of the event. We've raised a lot of money, and this will be the 10th time we've done it. Lagares fouls it at the plate. I think my favorite item in the pledge pack this year is the Legacy fitted cap. You can get a black one or a red-orange one, and it's a fitted cap. Comes in small, medium, or large.
I like the Yelich Gold Glove replica.
A dry fit Fox Sports Florida shirt. The FS1 really cool water bottle is a nice addition as well. And you get 4 tickets to any Marlins game you want. Fastball, heat, 99. Carter Caps strikes out Juan Lagares.
Well, we saw some heat from Hansel Robles, and we're seeing some heat from Carter Caps as well, who's mixed in a few more breaking balls, a few more sliders than Robles did. Robles got hurt with, I think, only the second slider he threw in the inning on the base hit of Christian Yelich.
Now Kevin Plawecki, Mets catcher, with Wilmer Flores at first base. 2 down, bottom 7. Caps is just blowing heat right now.
There's 98.
When the Marlins first acquired Caps for Logan Morrison, you saw the raw potential. He would hit triple digits, 100, 101. There's 100 for you on cue. Now you're starting to see a little more refined product, aren't you? The slider is much more of a weapon.
His average fastball last year was 97.5.
There's nothing average about that. One, two. There's that slider, and that is strike 3. And Carter Caps works a scoreless 7. To the 8th in New York, Miami, a 7-5 lead. Dan Herron's got a helmet and a bat. Speaking of at-bats, MLB at-bat all season long. It's the best device for baseball fans on all your mobile devices. Follow the Marlins and Major League Baseball all season long. The ever-popular pitch tracking widgets can be yours. MLB.com/at-bats. Changes for the Mets. Alex Torres.
We just saw why Torres wears that head protector on the throwback from the catcher. Almost got him. Watch this. Okay. Whoop. Like a double switch with Torres coming in. Siciliani comes into play center field. So I would imagine Siciliani hits ninth and Torres hits in the Lagares spot. 8th spot.
And of course, Torres was in the pen and was ready when Yelich came to the plate with 2 outs and the bags loaded. There is Siciliani. Terry Collins stuck with Hansel Robles, who seemed like he turned the corner in that inning, striking out Baker, getting Ozuna to pop up. But Yelich got him. On an off-speed pitch, Yelich lined it into right center. And thus a 7-5 Miami lead in the 8th. And Herron, the pitcher due up next, has a bat. He's got the pine tar. This has got to be, as you see, Solano in the box with D. Gordon due up third. For Herron, he's really got to enjoy this because his mind is not cluttered with his start. All he's thinking about right now is his at bat. And as a pinch hitter in his career, he's 1 for 3.
Look at that. Good on base percentage. An RBI.
I wonder if he went down into the cage and took some cuts in the indoor cage.
And obviously, if Donovan Solano is able to get on base, you got a guy who can really drop down a nice sacrifice bunt. He's done that nicely all year. You have Herron in that spot, too.
Sam Dyson in Miami's pen. Solano hits a bouncer out to short. Flores loads up and throws him out. So here is Herron. If you just happened by a 7-5 Miami lead, the Marlins bench was thin to begin with, a 4-man bench into this series. Adeiny Echeverria, a bruised shoulder in the collision with Christian Yelich last night. Echeverria out of the lineup. And so just 2 reserves left. Justin Bour and Jonathan Solano. Ichiro has already appeared in this spot as a pinch hitter. Herron was a hitter and a good one at Pepperdine before the fortunes.
And we've talked about that. That's really why he went to Pepperdine, to hit.
Turned him into a pitcher where he's made a fortune as a pitcher. And he's hot, Tommy. Look at this over his last 5 games. A breaking ball, a back leg breaking ball, and Herron pops out of the box. One, 2. Got him. Change up and a good one. So Herron goes down, and it's D. Gordon. Toyota trend, current hitting streaks. D. Gordon now at 8. Christian Yelich at 7. Both of those extended. Daniel Murphy has not extended his. Gordon's 2 for 4.
Well, with the 2 base hits, 21 multi-hit games for D. He also has 9 3-hit games. Another hit here to give him 10. So when they've come from D, they've come in bunches.
Torres wearing the new safety cap, a little Velcro sleeve around his regular cap. We saw Tom Kohler take one off the upper shoulder, and it appeared to glance off the side of his head. He stayed in the ball game. Gordon's bouncer out to second. Murphy gets the out. And Alex Torres works a 1-2-3-8. Marlins bullpen will be called upon again. 7-5. Fish. Bottom of the 8th, time for a T-Mobile game changer. Christian Yelich, not only 2 for 4, but a big 2-run hit to give Miami a 7-5 lead. And remember, JT Realmuto accounted for runs number 4 and 5 with a 2-run homer. He's also got a double. So that part of the order for the Marlins. Yelich in the 6th spot, Realmuto in the 7th spot. Very productive. And Miami in a position here, if the bullpen can keep it going, and this really has been a relay race of passing the baton from Tom Kohler to Vin Mazzaro, Brian Morris, Mike Dunn, Carter Capps, and now Sam Dyson. This is Siciliani.
And Rich, if the bullpen is able to keep this going and the Marlins win this game, another nice confidence builder for those guys out there in the pen.
Speaking of confidence builders, for Sam Dyson, Wednesday was somewhat of a nightmare. Dyson gave up 2 hits and 3 runs, walked 2, as the Marlins saw the Pirates come in and erase a 2-0 lead late in Pittsburgh. That one flipped foul and out of play. Well, some confidence last night. Dyson called upon in the 8th. With the game on the line, it was a 2-run game at that point. Dyson got a hold, just 12 pitches to get 3 outs. Two one. Siciliani was having a great year in Las Vegas in the Pacific Coast League. That is a great place to hit. Cashman Field. Bouncer, and it eats Prado alive. The Mets have life here in the 8th.
Yeah, this ball looked like it scooted a little bit on the grass. It was kind of a hop right there, and it stays down. It's a tough error. The Marlins, interestingly enough, today have committed a couple of errors in the infield. One by Jeff Baker, that one by Martin Prado. That's their 11th infield error. That's still the fewest in the major leagues.
There's a shot wide of first off the bat of Granderson. Counts 0-1. Granderson has been a tough out in this one. 4 plate appearances, and he's been on 3 times. Hit by a pitch, walked, RBI single, and he's bounced out. Dyson misses away.
This is with that changeup.
Marlins Live, brought to you by Checkers, coming up after the game. A strike. Granderson turns to Mike DeMuro.
It's been that kind of a game for Mike DeMuro back there. He's had both sides at times barking at him.
Whew.
Wow. Kind of like the pitch to Yelich early in the game.
And it's been on both sides. The Prado strikeout. 1-2. Little tapper. Dyson has it, flips, and gets the out. With a fast man. 1 out. Ruben Tejada now. And Siciliani is at second base.
That's a good play by Sam Dyson. Not to panic, just to forget about the runner going from first to second. You don't have an out there. And just to get the out. He went over, fielded it nicely, and got Granderson.
Tejada's 3-run double in the 4th. A big blow against Tom Kohler tied the game at 5. Oh, and 1. Jury's Familia in the Mets bullpen.
It's amazing. Ruben Tejada still just 25.
This is his 6th year.
It's amazing.
With the Mets.
Came up as a youngster. Seems like he's been around forever, and he's 25. He doesn't have the same resume as Giancarlo Stanton, who's just 25.
Who does? 0-2. Little tapper, and it's wide of the plate. A back and forth affair in Cincinnati with the Nationals now on top 5-4 in the bottom of the 8th.
We were talking about who's going to pitch in National League All-Stars, who will pitch for the American League. And, I mean, King Felix might be a lock, but I'll tell you what, Dallas Keuchel just pitched another complete game. He's 6-1. The Astros left-hander, 7-1 record with a 1.76 ERA.
Astros are an amazing 31-19 right now. One and 2 for Ruben Tejada. Up the middle. Gordon, sliding stop on his feet, got him at first. D. Gordon. He's having an all-star season with the bat and the glove.
Just pound the ballot a little bit more after this play. Pop up, turns that way, and makes a strong throw. Perfect chest-high throw to Baker at first base. And you're absolutely right. We know what he's done offensively. He's having a Gold Glove defensive season.
Well, Lucas Duda is up. Dan Jennings is on his way out to talk to Sam Dyson. He asked for the baseball, and A.J. Ramos is coming in for a 4-out save. West Kendall Toyota called to the bullpen.
I have this theory out there, Rich. We can have some fun with it. A.J. Ramos came in, picked up a save last night. For all of those who watch and always say, bring in your best pitcher, your closer, maybe in the 8th inning to have to get 4 outs when you have a guy like Duda coming up. Here it is for you, and that's what Dan Jennings is doing. He wants his best guy down there to pitch to Duda in this situation. He also feels A.J. has better stuff against the lefty than he feels Dyson does.
Ramos and Duda met last night, and you see 0 for 8. It was 0 for 7 before last night. A.J. struck him out. And Ramos goes to work. Siciliani is at third base. Miami's infield is in an extreme shift for Duda. Donovan Solano, who's playing shortstop, almost directly behind the bag at second. Popped him up, fouling out of play.
A lot of times when a manager's been around for a number of years, you get a feel for what he does. We haven't had that opportunity with Dan Jennings, but you're starting to get a feel. A lot of it is with the gut, and he's doing something that a lot of managers don't do. A lot of managers will only use their closer in the 9th inning to start the inning.
A good changeup by Ramos. Count even at 2-2. This has, to me, this feels like an extra inning game, not because of the length of the game.
Because the number of pitchers.
Absolutely. And the benches are all depleted. Ramos is the 6th reliever to work for Miami. And that one is fouled off. The Mets, of course, neither starter got to the 5th. The Mets have used 4.
But things are even on the bench now. Recker and Campbell are on the Met bench. And Jonathan Solano, Justin Bour, and even Etch, depending on his availability.
Broken bat, and Ozuna with a sliding catch in center field. Nicely done. Ramos gets that out with a little help from Ozuna in shallow center to the 9th. 7-5 Miami. And by H.H. Gregg, top brands, low prices, fast delivery. Gregg's got it. A familiar stop. Shake Shack. 9th inning arrives. 7-5 Miami. Alex Torres is still out there. Martin Prado, Giancarlo Stanton, and Jeff Baker against the lefty reliever for the Mets. Second inning for Torres. Marlins got 2 runs off of Hansel Robles. That in the 7th. Torres pitching here in the 9th. Prado 2 for 4. Has doubled and singled.
Came into this game, too, the last 6 games now here at Citi Field. Prado has an average close to 400. It's been a nice place for him to hit.
Two ripped left field and deep, and it's going off the wheat thins. Prado on his way to second. He is out. Michael Kadire with a bullet from the warning track.
Boy, this ball was crushed, and it's played perfectly. You can't do it any better than Michael Kadire did. Got the carom, made a perfect throw to his second baseman, and Murphy was right there with the tag. This is one where you're rounding first base. Right there, you know you're in trouble because you can see the ball coming at you, and you know the ball's going to beat you.
Goes as a single, and Kadire 7-4 to get Prado at second. Stanton's up, counts 0-1. Giancarlo 1 for 3, his 14th home run of the season. That was back in the third against Jonathan Neese, who lasted 4 innings. Tom Kohler lasted 3 1/3. Stanton, we have liftoff.
Oh, my!
Up into the second deck. Giancarlo's second of the game, 15th of the season. A mammoth blast here at Citi Field.
I told you earlier, we are privileged. We are privileged to watch that every day.
A scrum for the ball. Stanton puts it up where no fan expected a home run ball to land. And the fan throws that ball back onto the field. And that thing still had carry when it got up into that second level, about 10 rows up. And Stanton, man.
Hey, whatever StatCast says that is, it won't capture what it really was.
Baker, a high fly ball, left center field. Siciliani is back. That's at the track. That's gone. Bake goes deep. Party City deck. Here I come. Jeff Baker. And the Marlins stretch their lead to 9-5.
Well, Baker's first of the year. We've talked all game how he hits left-handers. He's hit the ball hard pretty much all day, and finally got one where nobody could catch it.
And you know all his teammates are telling him, finally you got one. This is the Stanton blast. And now Baker. Well, almost. That one fouled back and out of play. See, Baker was actually calling timeout because he knew a pitch was coming. And he didn't want to miss a pitch.
First time this year, the Marlins have homered 4 times in a game. It's actually the first time they had homered 3 times in a game.
Stanton a pair, Real Muto and Baker. 1-1. Ozuna pulls a ground ball wide of third. Tejada makes the throw and gets the out. 2 outs here in the 9th. And here comes Yelich. Christian Yelich has the biggest hit of this ball game. A 2-run single that gave the Marlins the 7-5 lead. It broke a 5-5 tie.
It's interesting in this case, Rich. Terry Collins kind of caught in a bind with too many left-handers in his bullpen. The only right-hander he had available was their closer, Familia. So he leaves Torres in, and he gets touched up.
Yelich on a high fly ball. Siciliani makes the catch, but the Marlins go deep twice. Giancarlo, his second, his 15th of the season. And Jeff Baker Stanton, 2 homers in this ball game. We said it from the outset. Ball was really carrying here during batting practice. Stanton's shot, just a monster blast. H.H. Gregg high-def highlight. Here's a look at it. Watch where this thing lands.
And it's still on an upward trend when it hit the seat.
There's a pretty good scrum up there for that ball. And there was a woman that emerged with the ball. I don't know if she was at the bottom of that scrum or not. Or if someone wrestled the ball away and presented it to her. They're still looking for it. Now watch this.
You got to check for cracks in that seat, too.
Oh. Look at this. That's her husband. Get off of her. Get off of my wife. And guess what? She's got the ball. Now, did she throw it back? I don't know. Did she throw it back? Because she's got a great arm if she did. That ball landed way out towards the infield. There's no way. That's amazing if she's the one that threw it back. One, that she would fight so hard for it and then throw it back. And number 2, the distance she got.
And you and I were talking between innings because of the situation when A.J. came in the 8th inning. Even though the score is 9-5 now, this is a save situation, still a save situation for A.J. Ramos.
Ramos came in with the tying run at the plate in a 7-5 game, and a changeup. Murphy swings and misses. Here is Kadire, who is 1 for 4. Wilmer Flores on deck. One last chance for pledge packs on this Saturday, quickly becoming Saturday night. Wednesday night is our big Fox Sports fantasy auction. Ramos with the count, 2-1.
The 9 runs, Rich, the most runs the Marlins have scored here in the month of May in any single game. The most runs they scored all year was a 10-9 win against Tampa Bay, 4th game of the season.
Pop up. Baker makes the catch, so there are 2 outs. With the pledge packs, just a reminder, there's the D. Gordon baseball. That's the legacy cap. It's a fitted cap, and you get your choice of color and your choice of size. Ford has a nice backpack in there. Fox Sports Florida Dry Fit. You get 4 tickets to any Marlins game. The Christian Yelich Gold Glove replica. The Giancarlo Stanton growth chart, which you need a big garage to hang that in, believe me.
You need high ceilings.
Yes, you do.
In your house.
It's pretty impressive. Marlins.com/pledge packs. We'll give you a full detail on what you get for your donation. Fastball. Flores turns it around and sends it into center field for a hit. This is the pitcher's spot. Eric Campbell will pinch hit. We saw Campbell a lot at third base in the absence of David Wright.
Yeah, we saw him in that series in April.
And Ramos misses. Boy, this is quite a team effort if Miami's able to get this last out. A short start from Tom Kohler. And just outstanding bullpen from there. Runner is on his way to second. Vin Mazzaro went an inning and 2/3. Those were big innings and big outs. Brian Morris wobbled. Got an out, walked a couple, but Mike Dunn picked him up. Carter Capps came in throwing hard. Sam Dyson got 3 ground balls. And A.J. Ramos trying to pick up a 4-out save. There's a breaking ball for a strike. No stolen base with Flores taking second on defensive indifference.
All of those you mentioned, the bullpen has not allowed a run.
Swing and a miss. Ball game, and the Marlins outlast the Mets. An impressive win here in New York. The bullpen fabulous. Stanton blasts 2. Christian Yelich an enormous hit. And a 4-out save for A.J. Ramos. Mazzaro, Morris, Dunn, Capps, Dyson, and Ramos all backing up the 3 1/3 start by Kohler. Jeff Baker with his first home run of the season.
Rich, as big and as nice as the win was last night, and it was a terrific ball game last night, this one incorporated just about everybody. We talked about it, a short bench early on, but an interesting move by Dan Jennings, bringing in A.J. Ramos in a situation to get 4 outs. So a lot of things worked well. Terrific win in this one today.
And a big crowd, 39,095 here to watch it. The Marlins beat the Mets 9-5. Let's check in with Craig Minervini. Craig?
Rich, thank you very much with Giancarlo Stanton here. And 2 big games for you guys to kind of turn around this road trip, Giancarlo. Talk about them.
It's huge, especially how the series went here last time. So it was good to come out there and get the first 2, and the third one be even sweeter.
That first one, they said, went 422 today. You hit a line drive. I don't know. Did you feel like it was gone off the bat?
No, that one I didn't. I just saw it kept going and going. The wind today was doing some weird things. So it was swirling. It was letting the balls jump. So, you didn't really know what was going on.
Did you feel that in batting practice? It seemed like it was coming in almost.
In practice, it didn't seem like it was as swirly. It was pretty consistent. But in the game, you didn't know what was going on.
Second one, I'm just guessing. You might have had an idea that it was it was launched.
A little better idea that was out than the first one. But, I'm just trying to see balls over the plate right now. We put good swings on them, and, it worked out today.
You've been battling because you've been on and off. It's been a tough one, huh?
Yeah, it's been up and down. We got to keep it consistent. But, today was a good day.
Giancarlo, last thing. Dan Jennings said, hey, we are a good ball club. You haven't played like it. These kind of games, obviously you got to finish. You got to win games. But are you guys keeping your good feelings up?
Yeah, we know we're good. We know we can hang with these teams. It hasn't shown us as of late, so all we have is our own confidence right now. But we know we can do it. We got a long way to go. We'll do it.
Thanks for your time.
Thanks.
Okay, guys, back to you.
All right, Giancarlo Stanton with a couple of home runs for Stanton on the season. He's got 15. And he's the RBI leader in Major League Baseball now with 44. Marlins Live is coming up from New York next.